I'm going to show you how to add a pictogram chart to a PowerPoint slide using the Engage add-in. So first you want to make sure that you've selected the Engage tab at the top. From there, select infographics. And from there, you'll want to select the pictogram chart and then click Insert. So pictograms are fantastic because they use icons to visualize a data set. And so instead of having a statistic kind of buried in a bullet point amongst other text, the pictogram chart really lets you bring attention to it in a visual way. So in this case, I've got these stick figures selected. I can change the icons using this dialog window over here to females or gears. And then in this case, because the nature of the statistic is has to do with mobile devices, if I click on more icons, there's a couple hundred icons already built in here for you. I will select this smartphone device and I'll click close. So I've got a couple options here in this dialog window. The first one is I want to update the statistic value. I want to update this 78%. So every single infographic here is tied to an Excel embedded worksheet, which makes it easy to update the data. So to do that, I'll just click on this Edit Data button. And from there, you'll see the values. So I'll change the 78 to a 95 and the remainder a 5. And so the first label I have is, okay, so 95% of people keep their phone beside their beds, 5% leave phone anywhere. I might update this to leave their phone anywhere. And because it's an Excel embedded worksheet, I don't have to save it. Once I'm done making my changes, I can just go ahead and close the file and it automatically updates. So you'll notice over here, these mobile devices, now the percentage is updated from 78% to 95%. And then the fill has also updated as well. So there's a couple other options in this dialog window. I can increase the size of the icons. I can also add more icons if I wish. So instead of 10 over one column, I can add 11 icons, again, over one row. If I want to add a second row, so now I have 22 icons, I could do that. And I can also decrease the padding, which is to say the space between the icons. So I could do that this way. But what I'll do is I'll just go back to my original 10 icons over one row. So I'll just update this value to a 10 and then this one to a 1. And then you'll notice this last option, fill direction. So right now it's set from left to right, but I can change this as well. I can change the fill bottom up. So in this case, you'll notice how it fills the icons. So I will go back to fill left to right, and then you'll notice over here, this is now updated. As well, I can update the color. So if I want to change it from a blue to a green, I can do that. I can decide to show a legend or not show a legend. In this case, I will make sure to click this so that I can see the legend. And I have two options for legends. The first option is just to show the first statistic, and the second object will show all values. So I'll see the first statistic, the 95% of people that keep their phone beside their bed, and I'll also see the 5% that leave their phone anywhere. I should mention that these values, the colors, automatically are linked to the fill values. So if I change the fill value above, the legend values automatically update as well, and the colors update as well. In this case, I can also configure this legend. So for example, if I wanted to add a border, I could do that by clicking the border button. I can adjust the padding, which is to say the space between that border, and I can also adjust the thickness of that border as well, and the color to whatever color I want. The other options I have here, I can show the bullets. So this is if I decide to turn them off, they go away. If I turn them on, they reappear. And the same idea in terms of the offset and the height, I can adjust those values here as well. In terms of the labels, I can adjust the font size and the font color. So if I want to override the colors, so now they won't be linked anymore to the fill colors, they'll just be a uniform black, I can do that. So I'll show you what that looks like when I click on this override label color button. And in terms of the orientation, I can change that from vertical to horizontal depending on the size that I have available on my slide. I could do that. And there's a couple other options in terms of the vertical spacing and the horizontal spacing, and in terms of showing different values as well. So in this case, I want to include the percentage value. In this case, I can choose not to. And then I can also include the label as well, or not. So couple options here, and then the last option is to show only the first value. So I'll go ahead and close this because I know I want to select the first option for the legend. And then from here, I'll click the configure button. And again, it's the same idea. It just gives me more ways to customize the legend. And so here, instead of a rectangle with a statistic in that, I can choose to do a circle. And the description here, I can choose to update that. So 95% of people really decide to keep their phone beside their bed. So whatever I type in here will automatically appear over here. And again, I can choose to update the offset, which is to say the space between this percentage value of the shape and the description. I can also adjust the width of this box. I can change the font color and size as well by clicking this font button. So if I wanted to darken that, I could do that. And finally, I can also adjust the position of this description. I can set it to the right of the shape percentage or below. In this case, I'll just keep it to the right, and I'll go ahead and close this. So the last thing I want to show you is in the event that the icon that you're looking for isn't over here, you might have noticed there's a section here called custom icon, which lets you select a PNG from your desktop or anywhere on your computer. And what it does is it'll import that image embedded into the file, and then it'll let you use this infographics engine to fill it the way you would any icon over here. So if I go to a browser and I type in, for example, tank PNG icon, I might select this one. And you'll notice this is what I'm looking for because the format here is PNG. The background, this checker design, tells me that it's set to transparent. So you want to make sure that the PNG you select is transparent. If not, it will fill everything. So what I'll do here is I'll just right click, I'll save the image as a PNG. So what I'll do is I'll just save it to my desktop, and I will call this tank.png and save that. Okay, so I will go back to PowerPoint. And what I'll do is I'll click on browse, and then I'll go to my desktop. I see the PNG image and it's uploaded it, and now I have the tanks. So the PNG icon, it will not appear in your icons tray, but it automatically gets uploaded and embedded into the file so that you can use it. So in this case, I might want to make these a bit bigger, and maybe instead of having 10 of them, I might decide to have perhaps 5, and I can just go ahead and update it. And just to show you that the infographics pictogram engine to update this and update the fill colors, what I'll do is I'll just click on the data and update this to 55% and 45%. And you'll notice that I don't have to actually enter the percentage values. If you just enter numbers over here, the system automatically allocates the percentage, calculates the percentage values for you. So in this case, I updated to 55%, and then you can see where that fill ends. And that's Pictogram.